Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ezine, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make a shirred top with puff sleeves. Now a while back I made a short video showing how I made this top, and a couple of people have been asking for the measurements and a full tutorial for it. So if it's not too late, I hope that this video helps you. So if you do find this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section. And subscribe to my channel, it's free. And if you know anybody that this video might be helpful to, you can share it to them as well. With that being said, let's get into the tutorial. To make this top, I used 2 yards of Ankara, that is a lightweight cotton fabric, a regular thread, and matching elastic thread. And you're going to need 2 to 3 of these depending on the size of thread that you get. To make the top, I'm going to be cutting out 2 rectangles, and here I have folded my fabric in 2. At the top of the fabric, I drew a line which would be the baseline. And from that line, I measure and mark the length of the top plus 2 inches for hemming allowance. To get the width of the top, you're going to multiply your bust measurement by 1.5, then divide what you get by 2. For me, that was 32 times 1.5 divided by 2, which is 24 inches. Then measure and mark. And then draw a vertical line to complete the rectangle. Cut out the top pieces like so, and then cut open the fold line as well. Now we have 2 pieces, one for the front and one for the back. Now I'm going to keep this aside and work on the sleeve. To get the length of the sleeve, measure from your shoulder to your elbow, and you're going to go in by 1.5 inches from the edge of your shoulder to take this measurement. Then measure from your elbow to your wrist, and as well measure from your wrist to how much of your hand you want it to cover. This should be about 3 to 4 inches. Just like I did for the top, I have my fabric unfold and I drew a baseline at the top as well. And from that line, I'm going to measure from my shoulder to elbow measurement plus 5 inches. 1 inch is for the elastic casing at the top and 4 inches is for the puff fold. If you don't want that much puff in your sleeve, you can reduce it to about 2 inches. But I would say between 2 to 4 inches should be enough for the fold. Then measure and mark your elbow to wrist measurement and also your wrist to hand measurement plus 1 inch to hem the sleeve. For the horizontal measurement, on the first line, measure and mark your full bicep measurement. Because the fabric is unfolded, it will be doubled when you open it. On the second line, mark your elbow measurement. That's your round elbow measurement. And on the third line, your round wrist measurement. And mark the same thing for the hem. Then I join the points using my free hand, but you can use your curve or ruler to do this, whichever one you prefer. And then cut it out. This is what it looks like after I'm done cutting it. Now you're going to use this one and cut out a second piece. Then make notches on the elbow line and on the wrist line. We're going to be needing this for later. Now going back to the top pieces, I folded the fabric over twice at 1/4 inch and stitched it. Now you're going to do this for both the top and the bottom of the front and back pieces. After sewing it, press the seams so they are nice and smooth. Then I folded the fabric over in two. And at the top, I measured 3 inches. And at the side, I measured 3.5 inches. Now you're going to connect these points to form the armhole. And you can use your freehand or a curve, whichever one that you prefer, and then cut it out. At the top of the sleeve, I will be forming the elastic casing. So fold it over 1/4 inch and then 5/8 inch. Measure and ensure that your elastic can pass through it well. Then take this to your machine and sew. When you're done sewing it, press it. Then I folded the sleeve in two and used the bodice to cut out the armhole for the sleeve. Now we're done cutting and prepping the bodice and the sleeves. The next thing we're going to do is to start shirring. Now to do this, you're going to be using the elastic thread in your bobbin, and you're going to hand wind the thread on the bobbin. Be careful not to pull the thread while doing this, so just do it slowly until it's full. You can do as many as you can before you start shirring, because it's annoying to run out of elastic thread whilst you're shirring. And then the next thing we're going to do is to adjust the tension of your bobbin case. Because the elastic thread is thicker than your normal thread, using the same tension for it will be too tight. So put one bobbin with elastic thread inside the case and adjust the tension so it's not too tight or it's not too loose, but it's just right. if you do a lot of sharing or you'd want to use this for another project, you can just have some designated bobbin cases for elastic thread only, so you don't have to keep adjusting your tension all the time when you want to use it. Now we're going to be sharing the bodies, and I'm going to be doing this at a 3/8 of an inch interval, and I'm just going to be eyeballing it using the edge of my presser foot. If you're not comfortable doing this, you can go ahead and use your ruler and a chalk or an invisible pen to draw horizontal lines from the top to the bottom of the bodies. And before we start sharing, we're also going to adjust our stitch length. So I made use of a medium stitch length, so not too tight, not too loose, a medium stitch length. And you can try it out on a scrap fabric first to see what works for you. Now just start sharing. Do not make a back stitch when you start or when you stop. When you get to the end of a line, just leave the needle in the fabric and then lift your presser foot, turn the fabric, raise the needle, move it down a bit and continue sharing. No back stitching. Keep doing this until you are done, and as you keep sharing, you're going to be using your hand to pull the fabric so that where you're sewing is straight and not gathered. After sewing, use your steam iron to press steam over it lightly so that the thread can shrink and the gathers will be even and nice. Now we're going to repeat the same process for the other one. And this is what you should have when you're done with it too. For the sleeves, we're going to be drawing horizontal lines on the notches we made earlier on the elbow and on the wrist, and we're going to be doing this on the right side of the fabric. This is going to indicate the parts that we're going to share. And so just repeat the same shirring process as before. Now the whole entire shirring process takes a while, so stretch your fingers in between shirring. When you're done with this, apply steam on it also. Now we're going to pass the elastic through the channel. You're going to measure the elastic on your body and measure from where the top would start over your shoulder to where it would end. Pull the elastic to, measure what fits right on your body. Then attach a bodkin or a safety pin to the elastic and pass it through the channel. Use pins to secure it at the end. Then take this to your machine and sew the place where you use pins to, so that a stitch would secure the elastic more firmly. Now we're going to attach the sleeves to the front and the back bodies at the armhole. While pinning it, you're going to stretch out the bodice so that it can fit into the sleeve armhole. Now sew the top together from the sleeves to the bodice using one straight stitch. And I'm sewing this with a 1-inch allowance. And after that, fold over the sleeve hem twice and then stitch it. Now finally, press all your seams and your top is ready. You can try it on, and if it doesn't fit as snugly as you'd like it to do, just take out the excess from anywhere that is still, not fitting right. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you have any comments, leave those in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.